friends, it's Carol from the library. I'm here to read you another book this afternoon. I hope you enjoy this book that I really like. It's called After the Fall by Santat. He's a great author and illustrator. The subtitle is How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again. You might be familiar with this book. You might have seen it at school, but it was one of my favorites, right? And we see Humpty Dumpty here on top of the wall, right? Kind of balancing on top, but we're not really sure. Right, so there's our egg. My name is Humpty Dumpty. Now he's gone. This was my favorite spot, high up on the wall. I know it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being close to the birds. Then one day I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it changed my life. Right, and here we see his binoculars. Right, they fell down. Fortunately, all the king's men put me back together. And here he is at Kings County Hospital. Right, well, most of me. There were parts of me that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. So we see his room. Here's his bed with a tall ladder. There's pictures of all kinds of birds up here. After that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. Right? I guess he's afraid to go up the ladder at the supermarket to where his favorite cereals are. I walked past the wall every day, and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled on watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then one day, an idea flew by. Okay, so here's Humpty, right? And there's the idea. Making planes was harder than I thought. It's easy to get cuts and scratches. You see, looks like he has an ouchie right there on that finger. But day after day, I kept trying and trying. Until I got it just right. Right. Quite nice, painted beautifully. My plane was perfect, and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. Unfortunately, accidents happen. Look at his face. He looks surprised. They always do. Right? And there's his bird flying up high. Right? And I guess it got stuck up there. I almost walked away again. But then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall. See how high it looks? But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. We see him reaching one hand up. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time. And look what happened. We got to the top. Until I was no longer afraid. Maybe now you won't think of me of that egg who was famous for falling, right? Hopefully, you'll remember me as the egg who got back up. What's happening here? Right, his shell is starting to crack. right? Some pieces are flying off, right? What do we see underneath? Well, it looks kind of like feathers. Right, look at that. Right, two big, beautiful wings. And I learned how to fly. Right, so Humpty Dumpty was no longer an egg. He's a beautiful bird. Right? So if you like this story, right, there are others by Dan Santat that you can get on Overdrive Libby, which is available through Nassau Digital Doorway. If you don't have a library card, you can get one, a free one online. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you.